Hello guys, my name is Simon and welcome to another video on ALS Software Engineering Program. Today we'll be looking at a project, the 0x00 Python Hello World project. This is the first Python project and I'm going to urge you to look at the resources. It's very important. But first of all, there is the Zen of Python, which is like the guideline for Python. Okay, these are 19 guidelines. Ensure you read them. It's very important. You can see the first one says beautiful is better than ugly. Explicit is better than what? Than inexplicit. That implicit. Sorry. Simple is better than what? Complex. So, and you can get this by typing the command. For example, my local is Python 3 and you can just do import this and you can see we have what? The 19 guidelines for Python. Okay, so I'll urge you to look at the resources. It's very important because there are a lot of things you're going to learn from here. This first project doesn't require much from you, but the tutorial is much, right? So I'm actually opening them in a new tab. Okay, so it's very important because this is like the basis and you're going to cover a lot. Okay, so I'm waiting for the first link to be ready. Okay, none of them. Okay, good. So you can see this is the first link. I just opened that in a new tab and you can see there are a lot of things you will learn here. Okay, so for example, you can click on one of them. Look at this, which is 4.1 if statement. I'm going to click on it, and so this is definitely going to tell you how to work with what the control flow. So one thing I want you to note is this is like this is the official document for Python, and you can actually write the same code here, right? So in case you are confused, you can just copy and put it on your terminal. Okay, so this is asking for an input. Okay, so you can see this is like what a basic example. And what is x? What x is what? 4. You can also change the value again. X is 6, and what is x again? X should be what? 6. Okay, so this covers basically everything about Python. Okay, so I urge you to read the resources. It's very important. Another thing I want you to look at, I think there's one that leads to your YouTube channel. So let me open it. I'm not sure it's this. Okay, there's this word Python code style, right? It's very important we also look at this. Okay, yes, this one goes to the YouTube channel, so ensure you watch this video. You're going to learn a lot from there. Okay, so for the Python code style, you know, in our previous project when we were working with C, we used to test our code. We used to test our code using Betty. Okay, let me exit this. You know, in our previous program, right, we should test our code and we'll type Betty and the name of the file, for example main.c. Okay, so I don't have Betty installed, but for Python we are going to be using the PyCode style. So you can see the installation here. You can copy this and paste it on your terminal, and you can also see this is another way to install. So we're using the pip, which is the Python package manager. We're going to install it and we're going to use it to test every Python file we've written. So you can test your file using, that is after you've done the installation, right? So you can test your file using the PyCode style, then your Python file, which is main.py. Okay, so ensure you cover this document because it's very important. You know, Python works with indentation, and it's very important. If you don't know the indentation, it's going to get you frustrated. So you can see, right, you can also use the flag -- first, and it's going to tell you either a curly brace, there should be a white space, and so on and so forth. You can also run this command, right? You can see you can run this command --show -source. So what this command do is what it show you the source code for each error, right? So you can see, for example, this is telling us that what import should usually be on a separate new line. So it's even giving you like what you should do. You can see import OX, then a new line, then import 6. So this is like the basic example. So let me go back to the project folder. So ensure you cover all the resources, and I'll see you in the quiz section. Alright guys, welcome to the quiz section. I'll also urge you again, it's very important before you move on to this section, it is important you have read the project overview, which is the resources. Okay, so alright, so let's go to the quiz section. The question 0, it says, what does this command line print? Okay, so you can see this is a variable a, and we're assigning a value to the string and want to slice it. So this is called slicing. You should know this if you've read the documentation. So we are slicing out the 6 from behind, and we should be left with this, which is what Python. So the question 1 says, what does this command line print? And what this print is what Python is cool. So we are slicing what from the start 7 and from the end -5. So we should be left with what this. Okay, let me scroll down. The question 2, it says, what does this command line print? So we are formatting a string and inputting a number. So we're going to have 98 Battery Street. Okay, so question 3 says, what does this command line print? It says print what? Hello world. So definitely you should know this, like the print statement, and this is what the correct answer. Okay, so for question 4 says, what does this command line print? So if you look at it, this is a string, and we are doing like the a of the index -2. Okay, so we are starting from behind, right? -2 is what? From behind. So this is what the correct answer. Question 5 says, what does this command line print? If you look at it, this is also a variable that holds a string, and we're slicing from the start 0 to 6. Okay, so 0 to 6, this is its correct answer. Then for question 6, it says, what does this command line print? And if you look at it, it's also a variable, and we are slicing only from the start, which is the first 7. Sorry, we are slicing out the first 7 out. Okay, so leaving the rest. So this is it. This is the correct answer. You're gonna left with what is cool here. Okay, so question 7 says, who created Python? If you read the docs, you should know is this guy, Guido van Rossum. Okay, so question 8 says, what does this command line print? This is also a string, and we want to get the index, the index 4 of a string. So this is what the index 4, which is this one here. Okay, so for question 9, what does this command line print? So this is a string, and we are using the format string. You can see the format string here. So this is what the correct answer. You can see 98 Battery Street, San Francisco. Okay, so that is all for this video. I'll see you in the tax section. Hello guys, welcome to the tax section. So for this tax section, the first thing I want you to do is to go to the project requirement. Okay, this is very important to look at this. So you should read this, make sure you read all this, but I'm going to point out some important ones there. So you can see this line. It says the first line of your file should be exactly like this. Okay, so the reason for this is what they're actually using the built-in Python. So this is going to point the built-in Python to your file. So look at this other line. Said a readme.md file at the root of your repo containing the description of your repository, and also a readme.md file at the root of the folder of this project. Okay, so another line here which is all your files should end what with a new line, and this one, it says the first line of your files should be exactly like this. Okay, and note this is very important. You can say all your files must be executed. They also label it here, all your files must be executed. Okay, they also point out here that we're going to be giving some example file. It can be main.c, it can be main.py. So these are for testing purpose. Here is another one. The prototype of all your files should be included what in the header file, which is what the list.h. All right, so let's go to the tag section, and the first thing we want to do is to log on to our repository, to our cloud server, and create this folder. So here I am on my cloud server. So I want to navigate to my root. So I'm going to do cd root. I want to create the folder. Okay, are we doing this in the example folder? Okay, first of all, let me see what I have here. Okay, so I want to remove the one I already have. Okay, so I'm going to clear my screen, then create this folder. So I'm going to paste what the folder name I've copied, enter, which is the ALXI_level_programming. So let us cd into the folder. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, you can see if I do lx, nothing is inside. The first thing we should do is what, to create our readme.md file. So I'm going to do vi readme .md. So it should not be empty. Okay, escape. So you can see mine is not empty, so I just saved that. You can see now we now have what, our readme.md file. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is to create what, this directory. So to create this directory, all you need to do is to copy this and create that directory using the command mkdir and enter. Okay, so if you check now, we now have this directory here. So now what we want to do now is to create our cloud repository on GitHub. So how do we do that? Let's go to your GitHub. You can see under repository, for example, let me say you are coming from home. Okay, if you are coming from home, all you need to do is to click on this your icon section. Okay, it's coming up. A second. So it's to click on this your icon section. Sorry, I'm having a very slow network today and your repository. So when you click on this, it should take you to your repository section. So you can see here I am, and you want to click on this new button. So immediately you click on this new button, it should take you to a page where you can create what, your repository. And if you go back to our project, you can see they said the repository name should be what, should be this. The GitHub repository should be this. So all you can do is to paste it here. So GitHub is going to check. So for mine, it says the repository already exists. So let me just add two so that I can create a repository for this example. I'm going to delete this after this video. So you can see it says mine is ALX higher underscore level underscore programming 2, but yours should not be 2. Okay, so add a description and note it should be what? Public. And next thing you want to do is to create your repository by clicking the button at the bottom. So immediately you do that, immediately you did that, and you can see it gives you some command to run. You can actually type this command one after the other. Okay, so for this I will just copy here. I'm going to use this button here to copy. So if I copy this and go back to my terminal, I want to click empty. I want to click paste. So if I click paste, you can see it's going to run all these commands. It's going to do add, readme, commit, branch, and it's going to push. No, you're going to set the remote origin, and the next thing is to push what? To the main origin. Okay, so you can see I want to push origin main. All I need to do is to press what? Enter. So now it's asking me for my username, so I'm going to enter my username, and now it's asking me for my what? Password. So I'm going to paste my password. When you paste your password on terminal, it will not show, but the password is there. All you need to do is to press enter. So you can see we have already pushed our code to GitHub. So when you refresh, you should see what we've done so far. So you can see we have what? One commit, and we have what? readme.md. So the next thing I want to do, so if I do LX, okay, if I do LX here, so we need to navigate to this folder. So let me just do that quickly, which is the OX0X00, and straight to that folder. So if you do LX here, you will see the folder is nothing. So from the project instruction, I said we should create what? A readme.md file. So I'm going to do that, readme.md. okay, so let me go back to my project folder, and I'm going to copy this, I for insert, then paste here, then save the file. Okay, so if I do LX now, you should see I now have what? My readme.md file. So the next thing you want to do, right, you want to do git status, okay, git add, git commit -m what you've done. So you can say added readme file, then do git push. So if we push and we'll go back to our GitHub, if you refresh, you should see we should have 2 commits now. Okay, so you can see we now have 2 commits, and you can see the folder, right? The folder which is the OX0X00, and with a readme file. Okay, so we have successfully linked our local project with the GitHub cloud repository. So all right, so we want to work on our first task. So you can see it says write a shell script that runs a Python script. The Python file name will be saved in the environment variable. Okay, so for that we need this file. All right, but before we need this file, remember we need what? The list.h. So I'm going to copy the list.h, which is my header file, and this file here, which is the shell script. So to do that, I'm going to do cp 3-step previous, and this should be my ALX. Okay, my network is a little bit slow. Okay, so this should be the 0x00, and this file. I'm gonna copy it here. Okay, then with one more file, and this file is the header file. Okay, oh shit, sorry, my network is very slow today and I can hardly type. Okay, in the current folder. Okay, so if I clear my screen and I do LX, so we should now have the header file and the 0-run shell file. So you can see if I do cat the header file, right, so you can see this is the content of my header file. All right, so for the first shell file, if I also do cat 0-, so you can see this is the command to add. This is the command to save the Python name in environment variable. So how do we do that? The next thing to do, we can see they're giving us a test file here. So for this test file, we need to create this test file. So let me quickly create that. So to do that, we need to run the command vim and the name of the test file. Okay, then enter. So if you type that I for insert, then you're gonna copy the test file. Okay, so paste it here, escape. Okay, enter. Okay, so once we are done, I'm gonna do LX. Sorry, let me do LX-cell. There's another important thing we need to do. Okay, so I want you to note the file permission. Okay, so you can see for this 0-run, the file permission for the owner is read, write, execute, while for group is read and execute, and for others is read and execute. So but for this main.py, right, you can see the file permission for the owner, it is read and write. For group, it is read, and for others, it is read. So we need to change the file permission to read, write, execute for everybody. So to do that, you need to use the chmod command. Then most people use u plus v, something like that, but I prefer to use the figures, okay, which is 777. So if I type the command 777, so it actually differs. So if you want like read, just like the 0-run, right? So if you want read, write, execute, then only read and execute. So it should be 744. So for 777, so the file should be main.py and 0-run. So if I run that command, I'll do ls-l again. So note the file permission. Now you can see we now have what read, write, execute for everybody. So without that, you won't be able to run your file. So now the next thing we'll do is to run this command. Okay, so I'm going to run this command. So this is going to export the Python file to environment variable. So all you need to put the file here and press what, enter. Because I've done this before and this work with environment variable, so I don't want to override my previous environment variable, so I'm not going to run this. So after you've done the previous command, the next thing you do is to run this command here. So if you paste this and press enter, you should get the result best school. But for mine, I'm not going to get the result because I did not run the previous command, which is the environment variable, which is not found. So I don't want to override my previous command. So after you've done this, the next thing you want to do is your git status. So git status, you can see we now have some file. So do your git add git commit -m, then it should be completed task O. Okay, enter. So once you've done that, the next thing you do is to what, click on your checker here. So you want to make sure everything is good. So basically once everything is good, you're going to see this highlight button here, and then you go to the next task. So basically this is just like a simple project to work on, but it covers a lot of resources, and there's something important you need to also take note about, which is the Python code style. You're going to need this a lot. Okay, so when we are working with the C, we should test our file, okay, using Betty and the file name. But here, what we'll be using to test our Python code is what, the Python code style. So you can see we have a Python code here, and if you look, this is what the command to install it, okay, using the Python package manager. But the beauty of it is it's already been installed for us, so we can just test our file straight away. Okay, you can see an example here. So you can see this command and the dash first flag, so it's going to check if you have some trouble with your code. So I'm going to paste this. For example, I have one Python file here, which is main.py. So if I press enter, so if there is no error like mine, it means the file is good. You can see you can also do a lot with this Python code style. You can see, so this shows the source code for each error and even irrelevant text import. So you can see we're actually using this command here to test a particular file, right? Let me do an example of that again. So main.py, enter. So this is how you test your file. You can see mine is okay, but if there is an issue, definitely it's going to print where exactly the issue is for us. So you can see this one is having issue with import, and there is a suggestion, say import usually be on a separate line. So it's even creating a suggestion, right? So I think this is actually cool. Make sure you check this documentation and a whole lot of resources which you can learn from. You can see there are a lot of examples here. You just need to look at them, practice whatever you can do, because the next task is going to be tough. So it is important you master Python to an intermediate level. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in another video.